There are several ways that we can speed up a reaction or we can affect the rate of a reaction. All of the ways that we can affect the rate of reaction are going to do one of two things: increase the probability of molecules colliding or increase their chances of having a kinetic energy greater than the activation energy. So, normally, when you ask somebody, well, how can we make this reaction happen faster? They usually say heat it up. If I increase the temperature, as you know, that makes molecules move faster, which is going to mean that we also increase the energy of molecules. So, two things will happen as a result of this. One consequence of this will be that if the molecules are moving around more, we have a greater probability of collision. Or I can write it as an increased frequency of collision. The other thing that will happen is more molecules are colliding at faster speeds. Therefore, more molecules, probably better to say more collisions, have kinetic energy greater than the activation energy of the reaction. The second thing that we can do is we can increase concentration. And you can only change the concentration of an aqueous or a gaseous compound. You can't change the concentration of a solid. It is what it is. When we increase the concentration of an aqueous or a gaseous compound, the consequence of that is the molecules will be in closer proximity to each other, and we have increased the probability of collision. I'm using probability of collision and frequency of collision interchangeably. Another thing we can do applies to solids only. And that is if I have a big chunk of solid, if I break it into many smaller pieces instead, the reaction will happen faster. Or if I take a chunk and grind it up into a powder. The reason that is I'm increasing the surface area of the solid. The consequence of that is more of the surface is available for reaction. So I will increase the frequency of collision or the probability of collision. Okay, the last thing people usually suggest that also works is adding a catalyst. As you know, catalysts cause reactions to go faster, but what a catalyst does is it decreases the activation energy of a reaction. If I lower the activation energy, more molecules will have enough energy to react. If you sell something at a cheaper price, more people can buy it. So this has a similar effect to one of the temperature effects, which is more collisions have a kinetic energy greater than the activation energy. But this is accomplished not by increasing kinetic energy, but by decreasing activation energy. In our next lesson, we're going to look at how changing some of these things changes the appearance of the concentration versus time graph.